Hello everybody and welcome to a course with Python and the web. Basically this is going to be a crash course for all things Python and interacting with the internet. So who am I? My name is Harrison. I have been programming Python for over 6 years and I've also been teaching Python tutorials for over 3 years. I also run multiple businesses that use Python both in the front end, either for the website, or even in the back end for the actual data processing and analysis and all of that. One of the businesses I run, it's actually the first business I ever did with Python. It's the very reason I chose Python is a sentiment analysis website called Sentex, where it reads news articles. So using Python, we access the internet, we read news articles, and then we analyze those articles through a process called opinion mining and natural language processing to pull out sentiment regarding to stocks, politics, and even geographical sentiment. So where are people feeling this way? So that's one of the businesses. Another business I run is an automated Bitcoin trading website. Again, the website itself is written in Flask, which is the Python framework. And then I also have the algorithm that does the trading. That's written in Python as well. Again, I am just a huge fan of Python for the web. Python makes a great language for interacting with the web. It's also a great data analysis programming language. It's really just, in my opinion, the best programming language. It's extremely simple to learn, it's easy to program with it, and it's honestly a lot of fun. So here in our series, what we're going to do is we're going to try to start pretty slow so anybody who is not familiar with Python can kind of jump on the bandwagon with us. So we'll go through the basics. We'll do it pretty fast. We'll get your feet wet. You're not going to become any sort of professional web developer by jumping through the basics with us, but it will give you the tools that you need to carry on with the rest of the series. So we'll go through the basics, and then we'll start talking about accessing the internet with Python. What do we need to do there? And then we're going to talk about databases. So anytime you're doing any sort of data analysis or even running a website yourself, you're going to need to know how to use a database. And you need to know how to put stuff into a database, read the database, and maybe even update that database. So we'll be talking about databases, and then we're going to start talking about the structure basically of the internet. So this will be things like web servers. How do they work? How do we have our own web server? And then we'll be talking about HTML and XML. So HTML is basically a language where if you go to your favorite website and you view the source, what you're looking at there is HTML. So to do that, usually you hit Control U or you right click and choose View Source. When a program accesses the internet, it's actually looking at that source code. And if you think about it, your browser is a program. It's accessing the internet and it is fed that HTML data. What your web browser does is converts that to the GUI that you're used to. A GUI is a graphical user interface. So this is the images and the pretty design that you might see of websites. But programs don't see that, and that's actually not what's truly being transferred when you access a server with a browser. So we'll be talking about the structure, HTML, a little bit of CSS, some XML, and then we're going to talk about using databases within your actual web application, whatever that might be. We'll be talking about it in regards to actually having a web server ourselves. We'll talk a little bit about setting up our own static HTML website, mostly so we can get comfortable again with just using pure HTML and understanding how HTML is going to work. And then we'll start easing into actually creating our own website using the Python web framework Flask. So we'll be going pretty much full circle here from starting as basically someone who's trying to just access the internet to being the internet that is being accessed. And we're going to be doing all of this with the Python programming language. So if that sounds exciting to you, then that's good. That's what we're going to be covering. It's exciting to me, so I'm going to be really happy to be going through all this stuff with you all. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump in and get started.